first, fact check me on this, people, but is it true that in the Philippines, divorce is now legal?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So
And
what is
I
the
hope it
process on
doesn't.
that
I
one?
hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm one of those who still fight. I'm one of the guys who
They're trying to pass it, though, correct? Is that the right?
they are. And
I'm split in it, to be honest with you.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
It's hard to. It's one of those issues that, for my part, it's hard to explain my side why I want the Philippines to be divorce free. So if something can be done that we don't need to have a divorce law, if this issue can be solved by, let's say, an annulment, legal separation, I hope we do that. But
Where annulment is, in some cases, accepted in the Philippines, or allowed.
We have annulment here in the Philippines,
Right.
So if
I'm so split in this, with all honesty, just because I
That's fine, yeah.
understand both sides and both points and the importance of it.
it's
Because
fine.
my point is, I got married 8 years ago now. It's the first time I ever got married, and I'm 47 years old.
All right, you're not yet. You haven't divorced yet.
No, I don't
Hopefully.
plan to. I don't
Okay,
plan to. I don't want to, because I believe in the sanctity of marriage. That
Cool.
if I got married and for some odd reason, God forbid, it doesn't work out, I plan to not get married again. That's my belief in it. You know.
Yeah.
Divorce wise, I don't. It's
They know
Sorry,
a lot of. I'm sure you know a lot of people there in the U.S. who's either divorced or married X
Right.
number of times, or a child of divorce.
Right.
Yeah, and the thing is that I in the Philippines, what they're pushing right away is a no fault divorce system, and that's the worst of.
It's horrible.
That's the worst kind of divorce. So that's what they're already pushing. So if ever we'll go from no divorce to a no fault divorce system. So
Okay. All right.
so that's the worst of the worst.
Right.
We didn't even go to a fault based system first. So it's going.
Yeah. I
Should we
didn't
write up
know
to-
that. I didn't know that.
to-
Yeah.
So they're pushing a no fault divorce system.
Right.
And they're packaging it with because some there are abused wives, there are wives who are abandoned. Then if that's so, then push a fault based divorce system.
Right.
Then
right,
we'll
right.
have a conversation. At least we know that you're sincere, that you really just want to. You just really want to have
To get out.
these abused wives
Yeah.
to get out of a bad situation.
Right.
But the problem is that they're already pushing for this no fault divorce system.
It's in a way, my thought of is it okay here in the West, in the US. Okay, divorce has. I mean, the whole divorce thing really ruins the meaning and the value of marriage. It's gotten to be transactional.
Yeah.
You know.
I
mean, the whole
Yeah, that-
divorce.
that-
There's so many things that revolves around the whole conversation and argument of divorce, because even before marriage or getting married, the last
you're
thing before
expecting to
getting
fail.
married is it's expecting to fail by the thought of having that conversation of a prenuptial agreement.
Yeah.
So basically, creating that. Again, I'm split in regards to the prenup as well, where it's in relation to divorce, because before even getting married, you're already setting up a plan just in case it doesn't work.
Yeah, escape plan. Yeah.
Right. So what's
an
the point
exit
of getting
ramp.
married?
Yeah. So it seems like you don't plan to see this through the end, right?
Right, right.
So
And it's like, what's the point? It's like, what's the point of like working it out? We're just gonna get divorced anyway. And plus, we're secured because we have a prenup. I don't
yeah.
understand that.
So the, what I'm thinking is that in the Philippines, what I would like Congress, the Senate to do is to have all the pros and cons, divorce and the negative side effects, the negative effects of divorce in the culture, weigh them against each other. Then, if they really think that we need divorce here in the country, then okay, so be it. Just back your vote, senators.
Right.
But at least have an honest conversation. Have everything on the line. Have a cost benefit analysis, and
Which is never gonna happen.
which is never gonna happen. I don't see that whenever this
Yeah.
conversation pops up in the House of Representatives, in Senate, because the studies are out there. The children who are a product of divorce have drops out of school early, goes to jail,
Right. Right.
get suffers depression, possibility of suicide,
Right.
all those. Then if you weigh the and they have like one good argument for divorce. The abused wife is a good argument. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's a good argument, but you need to do a cost benefit analysis. Okay, is it really worth having a divorce law just for the abused wife to get out of her situation,
Right.
when there might be other ways to do this? My analogy there is like, maybe you just want to kill a cockroach in your house and you're using a dynamite
Right. Right.
to kill a cockroach in your house, and it could be an overkill.
It's
And that's my yeah. So that's where I'm coming from.
right.
That's where I'm coming from. It's not a good argument to say that, hey, all the countries in the world have it already.
Right. No,
Philippines
it's
and
a
the
horrible. Yeah,
Vatican are
horrible. Yeah.
yeah. If something's so sometimes right and wrong is not, it's not like because everyone's doing it, so should be. So maybe we're the only country in the world who has it right. So
Right.
you need to look at all the merits of having this law.
It's
So that's where I'm.
it's sorry, I apologize, but it's really hard to accept the train of thought in regards to that, because there's no honest train of thought, to be honest just the way I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it. Okay, because everybody, especially in people that makes that decision in regards to passing the law or not, at one way or the other, they're going to look at it from their point of view only, and you
That's right.
can't.
That's right.
It,
That's right.
If something like this, if trying to pass a law that's this big, that's life changing,
Yeah.
it's something that cannot be made from your personal point of view. But sad to say, for the most cases anywhere else, it's going to be like that, because you always have to automatically think, oh, protect yourself, protect yourself, protect yourself.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, for the most part, it boils down to the financial gains.
Yeah.
Because it's all greed. Greed will also take play into this, because obviously you want to protect yourself. But if for the right part of it, it'd be nice if you could just think more openly about things and think for both sides.
Yeah.
But that's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's the sad part. For most of the laws that they're trying to pass in the Philippines, many of the data are already out there. Just need to look at it. And my frustration is that our lawmakers don't seem to take the data from
Yeah.
the available data from
Right.
other countries, and they might pass the divorce law. I'd be at least happy if they're putting on the table a fault-based divorce
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
and at least we know that okay, it's not the worst kind that they're
Yeah.
trying to pass. If they put a fault-based divorce system where the offending spouse would be penalized severely,
Mm-hmm.
to a point that there's no motive to have a divorce,
Mm-hmm.
that would be fine at least. And I'm not 100% advocating for it. I'm just saying
Right.
that at least we'll see that the lawmakers here in the country are serious about it.
And they're taking the time.
They're taking the time.
Right.
And one thing that's a bit sad is that it seems like the lawmakers, and I don't want to say what's in their heart, but what's really happening is, what I'm really saying is that it seems like they just want the no fault divorce system for their own, and they're just
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
for their own personal gain.
it's for their own personal gain. Maybe at some point they'd commit an adulterous
Yeah.
relationship,
Exactly.
and get out of their marriage, and they're just putting this battered wife as their mascot
Right.
to front their wants.
It's like so it's been clearly exemplified in the entertainment industry in the Philippines, where celebrities get married
Ah,
and then all of a sudden get annulled.
that's
you
right.
know, it's so to me I'd much rather have divorce openly as a free law where every aspect is looked at. I think now that I think about it properly, the whole idea of annulment is, I think, ridiculous because it takes away from somebody that needs to take responsibility. Because in a relationship, no matter what, there's always somebody that needs to take responsibility for things. You know.
Yeah.
But I think that's exemplified in the entertainment industry so much because
It
they
has been
get married
abused,
left. Yeah, they abuse the law, or they allowed law for it.
Yeah.
They just get married and annul. Okay, next,
Yeah,
move on to the next type of thing, right?
It has been abused. It has.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has, and sadly, it has. But
I think
least-
divorce need to be
yeah.
actually passed. I think it should be passed in the Philippines, but to an extent where there needs to be detailed segments into regards to it, where, like I said, where there's different categories in divorce. There's different reasonings for divorce, right?
oh yeah,
So it needs to be categorized and looked at properly, I think, before even granted.
the 4 A's of the fault-based divorce system before is, I think, adultery, abuse, abandonment. I think the last A is addiction. It might be wrong, but yeah, before. So that conversation needs to be
It needs
happen.
to, yeah. They need to open
but
that up.
sadly,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, ang daming ano eh. Like, one thing that I really noticed in the Philippines, really, ang daming mga kabit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
But the thing when divorce becomes legal in the Philippines is that parang i-reward mo pa yung may kabit because may easy way
Yeah.
out na siya to
yeah.
to,
In a way.
to go to
yeah.
the kabit, di ba?
Yeah.
But if it's a fault-based divorce system, that person na may kabit, and I'm not advocating again for
Oh, yeah. No,
fault-based.
it's the gray line. It's the gray
It's the
line.
gray
lang
line.
talaga.
Yeah. But if it's a fault-based divorce system,
Right.
pwede mong i-penalize that person who has a kabit to a point na parang hindi siya makapag-start ng
Yeah.
new life with that kabit.
Oo. Or
Because
at
of
least mahirapan man lang.
Mahirapan lang because of the penalty, di ba?
Right.
And it takes away the incentive
Yeah.
para magkaroon ng kabit.
It's literally trashing the very sanctity and meaning of marriage. I hate it.
So
I'm for it, but at the same time, I hate it. You know, I'm so
Yeah,
split.
I understand. The I hope you're against at least no fault divorce. That's the
Yeah. No,
that's
I'm
the
definitely
worst.
against that because
Because tell me if
what's
I'm wrong. Uh, in the U.S., the person who doesn't want marriage, who doesn't want the marriage to continue,
Mhm.
pag nag-file siya ng divorce, mananalo't mananalo siya.
Let me put it to you this way: divorce here in the U.S. it's typically the good people that get screwed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Parang
Yeah,
the person who wants the marriage to work, who wants
yeah,
the marriage the most,
is the one that gets screwed.
they get screwed.
Yeah,
Hindi niya
it's
makukuha yan. Hindi niya makukuha yan.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you'll be rewarding the person who wants the marriage the least.
Yeah,
You know,
and then what
yeah.
happens if there's children involved?
Oh, that's the worst
That's
part
the
actually.
yeah. The children are being used like pawns. I'm
Yeah,
not even kidding.
yeah,
Okay.
and I really wish na yun ang pag-usapan nila sa Pilipinas when they're talking about divorce, and I don't see that
Right. Yeah.
enough. I don't see that
No,
enough.
I don't
Uh,
think so either. You know.
I heard a lot of stories where the children who are a product of divorce they're like walking wounded
Mm.
dyan sa US. They
It's
have
it's tough.
yeah it's hard for them to have a commitment as well moving forward in with their lives because they didn't see that commitment from their
Their
parents.
parents, right?
Yeah, parang they even if
It's not even
yung
that. The big. I apologize to cut you off, but
oh yeah
the biggest factor there as well is the way a child that's a product of divorce, the way their train of thought in life molds is so it's there's like no direction ba, you know? Kasi there's difference when you have two parents the way you mold your child's train of thought while they grow up. It's more cohesive, you know. There's like for some reason an there's always the good cop bad cop that's
oh
being
yeah
exemplarized in your child's brain.
yeah
But when there's not, it's like all over the place, you know? Parang hindi
yeah,
makapag-isip ng mabuti yung bata.
yeah. And I even hear that it's taboo to talk ill of your divorced parents.
Oh
Uh,
God, yeah, I hate that. It's
you,
ridiculous.
tama ba? Parang, you really need to show that you're happy of your parents divorced and
Yeah.
medyo frowned upon if you talk ill of your divorced parents.
Correct.
Even Hollywood depicts divorced parents as like there's no problem when
Right.
parents
No,
divorce.
no,
You
no,
know?
no, no. It
Parang
shouldn't be like that because you're hiding the reality from your kid.
yeah. So that's the sad part. And
Right.
how I wish that gets brought up sa conversation ng divorce in the Philippines because there's a lot to be discussed sa divorce. Hopefully hindi siya ma-approve ng ganyan-ganyan lang. I just want the senators, the congressmen to know that hey, guys, this is what you will be signing
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
This is what you will be approving. This is on you. We will our society will be messed up
Right.
if you
right.
really want that. At least have some balls
Right.
na to say
Try to
yes.
not just think about yourself.
Yeah. So this is what we'll be heading to.
Right. Right.
This is on you. So yun lang yung conversation na hopefully.
That's like the reality of things is they're not going to think about the aspect of
Oh no. No,
the children, you know.
no.
It's all going to come
Yeah.
down to financial base, really.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The reality of things is,
No.
and I hope,
No.
like you, I hope that they would open that conversation and think more broader. You know, have a broader aspect before making a decision, or at least apply it into that law.
Yeah. That's right. If you consider it like just have no stones unturned.
Yeah, that's true.
What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Very heavy discussion.
it's actually a real. It's not even a smidge of a discussion that should be discussed in regards to both of these topics, the LGBTQ movement in the Philippines plus divorce in the Philippines as well. But um, thank you. Listen, thank you very
Great.
much for taking the time and coming in and doing this for me again. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
To be honest with you, I enjoyed this conversation a lot, and I definitely want to have this conversation with you again, especially watching your videos and having all those topics. There's so many things that pops up all the time, and I'm not even kidding you when I tell you I have notes in regards to your shows. I got notes, man.
I appreciate this,
Yeah.
Jay, and I appreciate that we're having this conversation, even though that we don't agree. We have opposite views sometimes, especially in divorce. But
Yes.
it just goes to show that people who have some disagreement
Conversations can be made.
yeah, we can talk about it in a civil manner.
Yeah.
We without shouting at each other. So
You have to have those open conversation, even if the opinions are different, especially if the opinions are different,
yeah,
to be able to widen your point of view. Because even
That's
though,
right.
like you said, we didn't agree or see eye to eye a little bit on the divorce, it opened my eyes to see where you're coming from.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
know,
Yeah, and I'm thankful as well that you showed me where you're coming from as well on this
right,
topic,
right.
and yeah, you
Let
confirming
me.
some of my things that I thought
No, no, no.
that's
Listen,
happening in the U.S.
why I love watching your videos and your show, to be honest with you, it's because you're such a conservative person that it teaches me your point of view, because I'm such an open and liberal person, right? Or especially my train of thought, that I'm so clueless and closed-minded in some of the topics that you discuss in your show, that I'm able to see a point of view that I probably will never be able to see from anybody else. Because
Thank you.
for the most part, somebody like me only talks to people that are similar to me. So it's hard for me to get a perspective coming from somebody and a conservative person like yourself, especially in regards to this discussion in the Philippines about LGBTQ or divorce.
Yep.
Like if I talk about this with somebody that has the same train of thought of mine, I'm not teaching myself anything. Then it's pointless, right?
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. So, listen, this is Jay Aruga of the Jay Aruga Show. Check out his vlog or podcast.
Podcast. Yeah.
Can you plug your show real quick?
Yes, so the Jay Aruga Show, I call it the first conservative podcast in
Yeah.
the Philippines because it's I was able to claim it for some reason because there really is no other
I
conservative
don't see
podcast
anybody else, to be
in
honest
the
with you.
Philippines. So it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Right now, I'm doing it daily, almost daily,
Wow.
5 days a week. It used to be once a week. So
Right,
we'll see how
right.
it goes. But so far, it's been doing great, and yeah,
Well, thank you very much for joining me again to the show. And we hope to have you back soon.
all right. Okay.
All right.